What's the favorite role you ever played?
I mean, I think obviously like playing Tori Vega on Victorious was such a moment for me and jump-started my career. And it was also just so much fun. I got to do all of the things I loved. Like I love doing comedy. I obviously love singing. I love making music. I love writing music. And
having it written for you.
Yeah, I mean, it
doesn't get better.
No, it was truly an insane dream come true. So, I loved doing that. But also, I mean, years after that, they did the Rocky Horror Picture Show remake on Fox.
Oh, I gotta see that.
Yeah, and I have been a fan of that film since I was in 5th grade. And so when I found out that they were remaking it.
So you get stuck in the car in the rain and...
Yes, all of it. I was Janet Weiss.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I gotta see that.
I called my agents. When I found out they were doing it, I was like, I don't care what we have. I need to be in this movie in some capacity. Like, let's make it happen. And I auditioned for it and like several times with Kenny Ortega, and it was a whole thing. And I remember I was so sick on my final screen test. I had like food poisoning and I hadn't eaten anything all day. And I was like, must get to screen test. And I'm like,
I must say this for you. Like, if you want something, you just won't stop.
yeah. And and it worked out and it was so much fun.
Incredible.
Yeah,
so looking forward, what would be your favorite new role for whatever movie could come along? Or
I love musicals, so I would love to do another musical movie. I think it also would be really fun to do like an action comedy. I love doing action stuff. Or I would also love to do like a really kind of gritty, independent, like A24 type of indie movie where I'm playing a character that is so opposite from my type and opposite of who I am. You know what I mean? Like something I can really sink my teeth into and that can be like a little grittier, I think would be really, really fun.
Maybe we do a little recap of what we've done in the past.
Yeah.
What's the first time I think you were in Victorious and needed a song, and Lindy and we came up with an idea and we finished it together.
Yeah.
And it was All I Want Is Everything.
All I Want Is Everything. Yes.
And then you had a very fun, cool video to it as well.
Yeah, we did do a fun video for that. I always loved that song. It was one of my favorite songs from the show. And it was so much fun to sing.
That show, was that, how many seasons was that?
It was technically 3 seasons.
Like 3 years of...
Yeah, it was from... I filmed the pilot when I was 16. Then we went into production when I was 17. And then the show ended when I was 20.
And that show was modeled after your life. That was,
yes.
That's crazy.
It was, yeah. I was on Zoe 101, which was a show that Dan Schneider had created for Jamie Lynn. And when that show was ending, we were talking about doing a potential show for me. And he took me to dinner one night and was like, Victoria, like, what would you want your show to be about? And I was like, well... When I first moved out to LA, I didn't know anyone and I was enrolled in a performing arts middle school and I had singing and acting and dance class every day.
Yeah.
And that was, that was my life. And so I think it'd be cool to do a show based off of that.
And it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, you're so funny in the show.
Thanks.
I mean, you're funny anyways, but...
Thanks. I have my moments.
Yeah. Who were you at 14 and who are you now?
At 14, I was just ending Zoe 101. So I was ending middle school and going into high school. I had really bad side bangs that should never come back ever. I look at pictures of myself and I was like, in that period of my life, and I'm like, man, that hair was just not good. But yeah, who was I? I don't know. I mean, I think I was like a young girl who was like living her dreams, like coming off of a TV show that I had watched and then ended up being on that show. So I was like, wow, that's the coolest thing ever. And then was potentially getting my own show, but then also like navigating like the things that you're navigating at 14, which is like boys and having crushes and like entering a new era in high school and making friends. Boys at the time? And well, to be honest, that's the thing. I don't think I was navigating that many boys. I don't think there were really that many boys to navigate. I think I got my first boyfriend when I was...
They must have been everywhere
15.
At that time.
Boys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, still today.
Yeah. I mean, there's boys.
You just lift your hand and say, boys. You get all these
That's
requests.
Unfortunately not how it works.
That's how we imagine it to work with someone like you.
No.
Do you think you manifest your future? Do you... Like, how do you work on something?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I really feel like we are the masters of our own destiny.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you can sit back and wait for life and opportunities to come to you. I mean, you know this because
Yeah.
you do this all the time. If you want something, you go after it and make it happen. And I really think that is kind of what you need to do in this life, especially in our industry. You can't wait for people to like bring the perfect thing to the table to
Yeah.
you. Like sometimes you need to.
That's what I love about
it
you. You're a
yourself.
hard worker.
Thanks,
And
Toby.
that's really what it takes, I feel. Is that someone,
Yeah.
despite the talent, despite you look good and all that, but it comes all down to hard work. Someone who
Yeah.
just doesn't mind getting up early and
Yeah.
working until later than usual, and just to get that, not just to do a good job, not just to do a great job, but to do a job that can really be remembered and change something. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Make a
I mean, I
difference.
feel like if I commit to doing something, like I want to do it 100% and like whatever it takes to get that done and to like even like promote the thing, like to
Yeah.
make the content or get the word out. Cause that's such a huge part of our industry now and what
Yeah.
we do. It's like, I'm down to do whatever, to make it work.
so is there something people don't know about you that you might want them to know?
I guess that like I really do love songwriting and that I
Mm-hmm.
started doing it when I was 16 years old for the show. And I wrote 3 songs that were on Victorious: Best Friend's
Yeah.
Brother, Make It in America, and a song called Faster Than Boys.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's the voice. That's
Yeah.
a cool title.
yeah.
Is that to outrunning them or what?
What was Faster Than Boys about?
funny.
It was like, because I'm moving faster than boys. I think it's basically just how like girls mature so much faster than boys and like they got to keep up, but it's hard.
That's not possible.
I know. But yeah, so I guess that, and like we've written a bunch of songs together, and just that I'm really passionate about making music and songwriting. And
Is there advice that your older self would want to give to your younger self, like things you wish you would have known when you were young?
I mean, I think advice I would give to my younger self would be, don't be so hard on yourself.
That's a good one.
I feel like I can be kind of a perfectionist sometimes, and if I feel like I'm not doing a good enough job or whatever, I can get in my head about it and beat myself up about it. I think I would just remind myself, like, as long as you're doing your best, which I usually am, I'm trying.
Yeah.
So that should be good enough. And don't forget to give yourself a pat on the back. And also, I don't know, also just like letting her know that there are going to be challenges and trials and tribulations and hard moments, but that you are strong enough to get through all of it.
Yeah.
And just to never give up, honestly.